Hello, 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 hello. This is Max. You are listening to the Bits and Pieces podcast, the friendliest cricket podcast on the third rock from the sun. We are recording episode 118 on this bright Sunday morning, at least for me. And while my co hosts are all sweltering in the warm heat of April, let me bring them in one by one. First is we've heard of the Gunda of Indranagar, who is now managing the Indian cricket team. There is also the Nutgrapher from Indranagar, the man who drinks fancy coffees and is a loyal fan of the greatest YouTuber on in the country, along with me. Please welcome PGK.
Thank you, Max. Just a small correction, it's greatest YouTuber in the world. But other than that, I have no objection to anything else that you said. It's nice to be
Fair
here.
enough.
But Max, was that along with me for your shared fandom of Ashwin, or you and Ashwin share the title of world's greatest YouTuber?
No,
Since
that
our
much
podcast
scene,
is
that
now on
much
YouTube
scene is
also.
not there.
Where is the Oxford comma? Is what Tony is asking.
Uncle Jack wants to know.
No, there is no holds barred. Ashwin is the greatest YouTuber for all sorts of content across market segments. Both haters and fans and everyone cannot get enough of his YouTube channel. Our WhatsApp group is proof of it. Every single person listens to every episode, whether it is to gush over his gargantuan knowledge of the world of cricket or to groan over every reference that he has put and every joke that has not landed. But the views are just going in, right? Our group itself probably gives like 150 views every week because of multiple times
I
we
want to
watch
clarify.
a single episode.
Max, it's one thing making assumptions about Ashwin. Now you are making assumptions about everybody in the WhatsApp group also. Like,
So just to clarify, Max, I don't watch any of Ashwin's podcasts on YouTube, but I watch every episode of Bits and Pieces twice. Basically, I've looked at Bits and Pieces and said, Nee Dandi and Aishwarya Rai. Because we can't
be... Next. So there was this Telugu movie, one of my favorite movies. It's called Appula Apparao. It stars Rajendra Prasad and Shobana, and it's a very sweet movie. In that movie, Brahmanandam plays a very pivotal role. He's a priest, and he has this assistant of his. And the assistant is such that whenever the assistant steps into wherever the puja or the wedding or whatever is happening, something untoward happens. And so, so Brahmanandam calls him Shastri. And then whenever this guy comes and like the wedding gets ruined or there is a baby's naming function, but then the mother runs away, some shit like keeps happening. And so he calls him as Iron Leg Shastri because whenever he sets foot upon something, it just goes to waste. We have our own Iron Leg Shastri on the pod today, presenting Varun Murli. Now, you may wonder why this great title has been bestowed upon him. It's because Sir Varun has this very great track record, I must say, of picking players, young players, budding players whose fledgling careers are still, trying to make a mark in international cricket or franchise cricket, and mark them for greatness out of the great, the goodness in his heart. But for whatever reason, I don't know, what happens is that person just falls off a cliff. Not really, but, in terms of expectations and so on. And the list is endless. Sir picked Rajat Patidar just during the recent test series. Poor chap now is not able to get back to ball. He rated our Famous very well. He rated Famous very highly, said this guy will make great strides. Poor chap is not even now...
I have to do audio subtitles now. Famous is Prasidh Krishna.
Yes, Prasidh Krishna.
Mr. Duolingo Max, you have to...
Prasidh Krishna is nowhere to be found. He had great eyes on, a lot of people pass his eye test and then they just fall off the fringes. So Varun Murli, welcome to the pod. Iron Leg Shastri.
Max, you gave like Ashwin like movie introduction and all Aad Alarm and stuff like that, and you came up with two names.
Oh, I can go on, but then
Two
that will be the
names, like,
podcast. If I go on, it will be the entire podcast. I just have to open WhatsApp now. I just have to open WhatsApp and type 2 words. Varun Murli, eye test. Whoever has passed the Varun Murli eye test does not cease to exist anymore.
Superb.
And then third on the pod, our third guest is, I mean, you've been listening to him for the last 5 minutes as he's interjecting and correcting me, is our ardent editor and father of this podcast, one father of this podcast. The podcast has many fathers, which is why the "Tu janta hai mera baap kaun hai" line sits very well. Welcoming the person who changed. So here's the thing, right? When you go and you hear stories of when people say, you know what, someone touched me and it changed my fortune, and things like that happen. And you wonder, like, what nonsense is this? People are just saying, oh, I met Shah Rukh Khan, he just touched me, but after that, my life changed and I was able to do all these different things. Like, but Shah Rukh Khan is not a saint, dude. He's just a guy who spreads his arms. You spread your arms and someone is going to get touched. Doesn't matter. But I have never believed in this. And people always say, I met
So you're saying Shah Rukh Khan has a wide appeal, basically. Because
yes, he has a wide appeal across all market segments, if you think about it. But yeah, people meet Sri, they meet all these religious leaders or charismatic people, and then say, my life has changed. It has been a life-changing experience, and now I'm for the better.
Abhishek Chopra.
One such thing did happen recently. You may have heard of it. You may have known of it because it's on LinkedIn, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram. It has been shared multiple times. So even if you do not know it, we will again plug it maybe in the show notes. Man. It could get plugged in the show notes because the editor himself is the person of the said, meeting. Is when, and again, I have been accused of this multiple times on the pod. People have called me out where I have attributed the term Jayadrat to a certain individual, over, I would say, probably almost the greater part of a decade, where this individual always, in every season of the IPL, starts off like a firecracker, an absolute flourish, where every single person, right from Shashi Tharoor to, his dictionary, will just say, why is this person not in the Indian cricket team? And then it's a very easy thing, because by the end of the season, everyone knows the answer of why that person is never making it to the Indian cricket team. But there is one person, however, in the entire country of 1.6 billion, or by the time this episode comes out, probably 1.65 billion, who has the staunch belief in this one person, that he wrote an ode to him. He wrote a paragraph or an essay or whatever you want to call it. I don't read these days, so I don't know. And then it reached and traveled to this one individual who was so touched by it that he said, I want to touch you. Please come. I want to meet you, sir. And they have met. And since that day, since that memorable meeting, the fortunes of an entire franchise have changed. So the cash registers in UK are ringing because Tony Sebastian has met Jayadrat, the great Sanju Samson, and changed not only his IPL, because again, it's been 4 games as of now. The Varun Murli syndrome has not kicked in. But as of 4 games, Rajasthan Royals are unbeaten. Sanju Samson is cruising.
Let's go.
And here is Tony Sebastian.
What an elaborate intro. This is like a Virat Kohli century or something. You've taken up most of the airtime on this podcast for an absolutely needless.
Hey, did you?
But at the end of the podcast, they will blame the 3 of us and say the 3 of us actually screwed up. Okay, they'll say.
Did you guys
Max did his
notice
job.
that when Max was talking about social media, on which like Tony had like said, he talked about Yahoo Messenger, Orkut, Facebook, LinkedIn, but no mention of YouTube. YouTube is like, okay.
Correct. So just to let you guys know, when I met Sanju Samson, basically on this podcast only when Sharda Ugra had come, famously, the last person from this podcast to have met Sharda is PGK, who told her not to listen to this podcast for some reason. Without realizing she's been on it. And then when Vipul had asked her about what she told Abhinav Bindra, right? And basically how he'd crashed out of the previous Olympics. And she told him that he'd win an Olympic gold. So when I met Sanju, actually, I sort of channeled that energy and told him, listen, like South Africa has been very lucky. That's where Srisham took, that incredible ball to Jack Cullis and took the catch to, sort of win 2007 World Cup. You just scored a century there. So the next World Cup in South Africa, India will win and you will be there when we hit the winning runs. And Sanju just politely looked at me, laughed and said, oh, next World Cup is in South Africa, is it? So, so I mean, either I will replay this prediction when India wins in South Africa, the ODI World Cup, and Sanju's there, or this will just get forgotten. Either way, it's a good thing to put out there.
So that means you're not expecting Sanju to get US visa and go to Barbados.
It's tough, man. Like he has the all-round game now, but his social media game is weak. So I don't know.
Guys,
unless he
if you're
embraces
starting-
Instagram.
If you're starting with Barbados, let's dive in famously. Let's talk about we got to talk about the squad. Maybe we should start there before going into the IPL. IPL and all will happen. Every week, some 5 matches, 10 matches is going to happen. Come on. What is the update now on the T20 World Cup squad?
PGK going with the literal nut graph. You only tell her. Cut to the chase.
So I think, okay, there are 3-4 things, right? I think number one is the whole debate of whether Kohli yes or Kohli no. Feels like it's getting harder and harder with every day to say no Kohli. I mean, unless there is some major thing that goes wrong over the next several games, I don't see a situation where who's going to basically step up and say no Kohli in the World Cup. No. So I think Kohli is
Nitin
definitely
Sundar,
going to be
no?
there. Nitin Sundar, of course. But I think even Ajit Agarkar is now probably like, yeah, I guess we have to take him now. So so I think Kohli is in. So I guess now the only real certainties are Rohit is certainty, Virat is certainty, Bumrah is a certainty. Who else? I guess those are the Scooby, of course. Yes.
What?
Also,
Gill is sure. How?
Gill is
actually no. Gill may
Have
or
you
may
seen
not
the thirst trap? Have you seen the thirst trap, sir? Please.
Okay, wait. One second. Let's keep these three. Fourth is Hardik. Hardik is a certainty. They will not go
really?
without Hardik. I think
Is he
fourth is
vice? Is
Hardik.
there a vice captain?
Yeah, good question. Probably
Is it
Hardik
Bumrah?
or Bumrah.
Vamu, I'm looking at
could
you.
be one of the two. So it's these four are.
Please don't
sure.
ask Vamu anything. Please. He says he looks good to me right now. He's
No,
bowling
he is going to
the ball,
he's
the
going to
shape
say
of the
KL
ball in his
Rahul.
hand is nice. Sir will then scuff his wrist on the toilet seat or something will happen. Please.
it is good if Hardik doesn't go like the way he's batting.
Yeah, well.
No, for
As we
Bumrah I
speak.
said. Hardik, anything can happen. That is your problem. I'm worried about Bumrah now.
So what's the
Okay, so
lineup now?
PGK 3.
So those are the
We've
four
got 3
names.
people. Huh.
4 actually, right? Including Hardik 4. So that's 4 names. Yeah, the 4 names that are certain, right?
I guess the wicketkeeper batter slot is now in question. Now that there is Pant and Dhoni who have hit form. It's a toss-up between the two.
So it's between Pant and KL and Jitesh. And Sanju, of course.
But
So
why
those
is
4
Jitesh
names.
there now?
Jitesh?
What about
Wasn't Jitesh
Ishan
there?
Kishan? Is not made nice with Dravid.
Ishan Kishan, oh god. Okay, Vamu, I'm going to throw it to you, man. You have probably made
No.
some combination in your head. So go for
No,
it.
I think the problem with the way the combination is sticking together is like, I mean, if you are to go with Ishan or Sanju, there has to be like a top order batting slot open, which I don't see at this juncture right now. I think between Rohit, Shubman, Yashasvi, and Kohli, I think all 4 will end up getting selected, and 3 of them will play, is my view, in the World Cup. And then you will, of course, have Sky at 4. So you are technically looking at a wicketkeeper batsman who can come in at like 5, 6 or below. I don't think they're going to take Pant. I just think like irrespective of all that, like, I mean, his comeback has been so soothing, but fact of the matter is like against really high quality bowling, he still has looked a bit rusty. I mean, we can't be like picking people for scoring 28 runs of a Venkatesh Iyer over to the
So
World Cup.
wait,
So
so You have eliminated Ishan Kishan, Sanju Samson,
Yeah.
Pant,
Yeah.
KL
So which is
Rahul.
Wait.
So
Why
basically,
have
it's
you-
only
why have you
Dhoni that's
eliminated-
left.
Why have you eliminated
Which-
Sanju Samson?
Because
I don't think
he's
they'll-
saying has to be a
because-
finisher.
Yeah, I think like where Sanju is batting in the IPL, I find it difficult to think that they'll like pick him and
So
like
it's
put him
Dhoni.
at number 5.
It's Dhoni.
So by that logic,
So-
KL is also out.
Yeah.
Yeah, KL is out. I don't think KL goes.
Only Dhoni is
I-
left.
I- I don't.
Really? They go
I
without
don't. I
KL.
don't. I
Yeah.
don't know what KL is doing in the IPL, to be honest. I mean, he is opening the batting, he is keeping, he is captaining. Like, I mean,
Impact
there's.
sub.
I mean,
So-
yeah, whatever. Like,
So Max,
mean-
now we know LSG is going to win IPL. So that is clear. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Sorry,
No.
go. Ha.
so which is why I think it could still end up being one of Jitesh or Dhruv Jurel actually, because they are the two
Wow.
batsmen who. I mean, it doesn't like sound sexy, but just in terms of role fit as to what they are doing with their respective IPL teams, those are the two individuals. I think you
So your
probably like.
anyway, your entire team is sounding unsexy only now. It's Robro
It's okay.
and
No, but
Jaiswal,
it's not a
Gill,
big
Kohli.
name. I meant not a
Acha,
big
now,
name.
now
I
tell me
meant.
another thing.
Stay.
Who has to get injured for Ashwin to go? Because it's going to
So-
happen. I mean, the question is
Before
somebody
that-
has to get injured. The
No,
question is
PGK,
who's
we'll
going to
come-
get injured. Sorry, we'll
That's
come to
a,
Ashwin.
that,
Okay,
that is a bigger segment. Before that,
Okay,
I want
good.
to ask one question I want to ask.
Last
One
one.
question I'm having, sir.
Yes.
So why? So it is a World Cup year, right? And Sanju Samson. This question is probably for Tony, your good friend, right? So it is a World Cup year. Sanju Samson is the captain of a franchise. As a captain, he
Correct.
can decide what he wants to do. He can want if he want, because captains are decided to become impact subs as well nowadays, which is a new thing. So why can't he go bat at 5? Right? Why does he have to bat at 3? He can send Riyan Parag, Simran, all these guys he can send. No, I need bat at 5 and show his credentials and book a ticket. Like, it doesn't want to go. What he's thinking, like some guy will come and say, come sit in a boat, wear this Arab dress, and then you will find yourself in Dubai or what? What is this? Why is guy not doing this? Like, he is a captain. He can bat at 5.
I agree. No, unfortunately, he wants his team to win and all. No, like these unnecessary things come in between. But I think Sanju is banking on the fact that he's the only person to have played in this time zone, because whenever we've gone to West Indies in the past, that is the only time Sanju has got to play, so that no one in India watches him. So I think his body clock is already aligned, which is also what Ashna is probably going to start.
Exactly.
doing.
They have been discussing this. Ashwin must have told, like, you sleep at like 6 o'clock. You'll be fine.
So then in that case, he's no longer the Jayadrat. He is the Karna of the thing. He will not do what is required. He will do what is required because his friend has asked him to do. His friend wants him to do something, he will do something. Even though it's not the right thing for him to do. Even though he knows he could have been somewhere else on a different side. By doing something different, his fortune could have changed. He could have been somewhere else. But he will still choose to not do that. He will not
I
go
like
at 5,
how-
not
one
get
second,
the US visa. But
I
he will
like
come
how-
at 3 because his
I
friend
like how
Joss wants him.
I like this. How? Because Sanju is doing this at 3. Sanju is unselfish. RCB's players are doing the same thing. Ambati Raidu is like, oh, you guys are sending kids to the pressure situation. Same thing only. Like, no. RCB, you screw you guys. Okay, but yeah.
No, but
Sorry, go
Max,
on.
you're right, because in the Karna analogy, right, it's ultimately going to be a Surya sun god who comes and asks for Sanju's Kavach and Kundal or whatever that is. So Surya Kumar Yadav is going to basically rob his spot. So that is where we are.
Correct. So he has given up his spot for the greater good of a franchise, which is not even, according to the great gents like Mohan Krishnamurthy and Abhishek Chopra and all of that, it is a useless tournament, which is not even cricket. For an event that is not even considered cricket, our great man is sacrificing a US visa and a chance to lift ICC silverware. This is the greatest selfless person ever known to pick up a cricket bat.
No, but one key point that, sort of we've brought up, Nitin mentioned, and we need to solutionize for, is that basically IPL has introduced impact subs, which means India has no all-rounders to speak of. So literally we have less than 2 months left to change the ICC World Cup rules to allow impact subs, because who is going to be all-rounder? I think all of this has to happen in the background. Who plays and all doesn't matter. Vamu, as our impact sub rule expert, who has been talking about favorable batting conditions in the second innings, how do you see impact sub, and how do you see India shaping up after IPL without all-rounders?
I think India just needs to like throw this whole all-rounder thing into the dustbin. Just go with their like best four bowlers, even if they are all number 11s. I mean, there is no point in trying to lengthen the batting lineup, and you'll end up picking a Jadeja or somebody like that who
Ashwin.
really adds no.
Exactly. This is how Ashwin comes back. This is exactly how Ashwin comes back. This is the Rajasthan Royal strategy. Hey, these screw this shit. These guys are all rounder. Cool, bro. Let's send him. I
So-
approve this strategy.
Yeah, Max, you were saying something.
No, but our Karna man has done one other great thing as well. No, not that despite sacrificing himself, he has also helped prop someone else's career and extending it way more than its sell date. Just like Karna went and told the great Bhishma, sir, you go, sir. I know you're past your prime. You shouldn't be even here. I don't know what you're doing. But sir, no, sir, you lead from the front, sir. You should be the one in the front. You should be the one giving us advice. I will listen to you. I'm a much better, archer and this thing than you, But you should, sir, go and be at the front. So he has sent one gent like that to bat at number 4. Sir, Andrik Norke, what useless bowler, sir. He's like not even in the South African team. Rabada, only people are hitting. You cannot team us. You go, sir. You go, sir, he said. Then what happened? Andrik Norke, 145, smacked for 2 sixes in the same over. Has it happened? Has Robro done it? No. Has Virat Kohli done it? No.
Epic.
Has KLR done it? No. Has Sky done it? No. None of your top 4 have done it. But this one gent who was propped up to number 4 has done it. And then, sir, Kohli is hitting, sir. Nandre Burger and what is this guy? Trent Bolt, the guy who takes 2 wickets in the opening over is getting hit. What to do? Sir, you please go, sir. Bhishma, you please come, sir. Bhishma comes, bowls the 5th over of a game, goes for 6 runs, as if nothing happened, just business in the park. Then shows up again in the 16th over, in the death overs, when there is supposed to be absolute carnage. You have, Kohli, like, who's looking like Arjuna the day of the day when he was trying to kill Jayadrat, with the after the Chakru. He's like brandishing the sword. He has like anything. Ashwin comes, bowls the 16th for 7 runs. No chance in hell. And the poor guy has to pick on some less known purple cap holder, Yuzi Chahal, or some useless shit like that to get some 10 runs of that over to at least balance out the equation. The greatness of Bhishma
Amazing.
is not just in the advice that he dishes out on YouTube, but it's also in the performances that he is putting out. And this great career over so many years of 500 wickets. We are not talking about the great Bhishma. I don't know why. Sir, PGK, my dear darling, please tell us, who is this great person who is able to tonk, South African fast bowlers for 6s, who is able to come in and bowl all the tough overs and do all the hard work and yet sprout wisdom on YouTube? Who is this great person? Please tell us.
Yeah, and on top of that, people have all unrealistic expectations. They're like, oh, you should like field also. Like, why? Okay, why should you field? Why should you stop the ball? It's okay. 1-4 will go. It's okay. So what? He's controlling it with his bowling. He's hitting 4s also. But the Bhishma analogy is very good, because the thing is that the only way, like Bhishma, like even the Pandavas knew during the war that we will never win as long as Bhishma is there. So we have to like fell him and we have to kill him using all kinds of like, all kinds of like chal and this thing, and you have to like do all kinds of dirty tricks in order to bring him down, which is basically what is going on right now. But okay, good. I'm very glad.
No, but
one question. Hey, PGK Max, if you are selecting the Indian team, like hand on heart, would you really pick Ashwin?
Hand on all parts of my body.
People are picking Virat Kohli. No. There's an Amitabh Bachchan movie. Okay, he says, "Usko जिसने मेरे हाथ पे ये लिखा है." Right? You first go ask that person who is picking Virat Kohli in the team. Then you come and ask me. I will think of answering you. Okay. This
Just,
is all games you don't play. This is all games you don't play with me, darling.
just one
Virat
clarification.
Kohli, you will take, it seems. One guy will bat full 20 overs,
Yeah,
score
like-
century. Everyone in social media will go crazy. Team will still lose. That and all okay for you. Greatness,
But-
you will tell. King, you will sell. Castle, you will tell. Everything you will tell. You will send off to US. Our man will come, it seems, Halla ball, Nalla ball, Sattama ball, Veritanma ball, whatever ball you will tell. That ball and all you will not like. Not only having ball in hand, with mouth also ball is telling. Yet you don't want. Virat Kohli, you want, it seems.
Sorry,
Hey,
I'll
just
do a
one
quick interruption.
clarification.
Sorry, I'll just do a quick interruption and update over here. This is like we are actually recording live between the game between Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals. Mumbai Indians right now are at this place where they're like 212 for 5. They have like 4 balls to go. But the thing is that Hardik Pandya has basically gone out 39 of 33 at a strike rate of 118. One of the 4
Amazing.
certainties. So his
Yeah, so he's
run
captaincy material,
continues.
clearly.
clearly, yes. Okay, so he's
So
going
just-
to US
just-
for sure.
One clarification, Vamu, wasn't it during the last the one-day World Cup that Ashwin put out a tweet saying this is my last World Cup for India or something? I believe we brought it up on Bits and Pieces also. But I think this completes the Bhishma analogy, because Bhishma, I think, famously had a boon or whatever it is called, where he could pick the time of his death, right? So even if Ashwin says, that was the last World Cup, we can't write him off. Is that what we're saying?
That is correct. Ashwin goes when
Ashwin-
Ashwin wants to go.
He can pick the time
Ashwin-
when he wants to wear the blue. Till he says, I will not wear the blue, he can decide.
Ashwin put out YouTube famously on November 19th night, where he asked, okay, what next? There is India-England Test Series, IPL is there, and of course, World T20 is there in West Indies. Night of November 19th, he put YouTube saying that like World T20 is coming up.
Let's go. Let's go.
Boys, you just now asked if India does not have all-rounders because of this fuck all impact sub rule that has screwed up. I am showing you one guy who is able to go and do some things. You don't want to see. You want to turn a blind eye to that. Okay. And then heart on heart, leg on chest, toes on nose, some useless questions and all you want to ask. Okay. I am not trying to stir any controversy. Okay. But I am only telling, at the end of the season, you should look at the facts in front of you. Like, who is having the greatest economy rate in the World Cup? I didn't ask that question. But it is facts, right? It still stays. The numbers, the statistic is still there. So,
No, I
Hey,
think
best economy rate in the World Cup. By that logic, Virat Kohli should surely go, no?
you're taking him. No, anyways, that and all is moot point. 1, 2, 3 is already decided. This is like that in Tilumul, when he comes and says, candidate la select pantanga, all eyewash. This is what it is. Everything is selected. You're only looking to fill one spot to see if either Pant will come or someone else or somehow, husband of Atiya will come. That is only the thing happening here.
So I think this is the season where we will discuss this squad every week, and it will change based on who has performed that week.
Yeah.
And when selectors are asked if you've picked a team for the World Cup, they'll be like, have the stadiums been built yet? And they'll be like, no. So till I'm in fact
Can you spend a couple of minutes on the
Future
bowling?
Projects New York City, which is basically
No,
the
just
status of that
PG.
stadium also.
PGK, before we go to the bowling, like number 6 slot, Rinku Singh, Shivam Dube,
Hey,
or
where's
both,
Shivam Dube? Come on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Rinku Singh, Shivam Dube.
or both in the squad. I would
Huda
pick
is
both
out.
of them.
Sir, impact sub is not there, sir. Shivam Dube has not stepped on the cricket field without pads till now.
So how?
He hasn't bowled?
He has not stepped on the field without pads.
Oh, interesting.
He's not stepped outside the crease also. Like he's like famously rooted to that spot. Footprints in the sand base. Yeah.
Okay, so 6 is done. So I guess now we are down to
No,
the
but
bowlers.
seriously, like when do they have to select a squad?
ICC
there a
will
I think
know,
the
World
sir.
Cup-
We can
World
tell
Cup
whenever we
is-
want, we can send.
that is
World
true.
Cup is, I think, 2 weeks after the IPL. So I think
Correct.
after the IPL is what I would think. We should.
No, what they'll have to send us this thing before that. No. Oh,
Yeah, I
everyone's
think-
got visa now, is it? Like 10-year visa for US done. You don't have to worry about it.
No, I think they
Yeah.
have to
But
because
interestingly, I think they
last
had
game
some
only Mustafi is
pre-World
going to
Cup.
get visa, no?
Oh wow, that is for the World Cup, correct. So what is that, Max? He missed a match because he had to go for visa processing.
Yeah. He missed the game against SRH because he had to go to Dhaka for US visa. The consulate date was there. He had to go wear formals. What is the purpose of your visit, sir? I'm here to perform.
Oh, okay.
What is
The ICC cutoff date for the submission of teams is May 1st. So teams will likely have to do it by the last week of April.
Oh,
So, yeah.
this is good. Perfect for Sanju. Like first half only you do, second half.
Fun.
But since we brought up Mustafizur, there is one thing I wanted to talk about. Some serious cricket that has happened. Allegedly serious cricket that has happened, which does not look very serious though, is that Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have been playing a test series, so to speak. And which is why none of their players are, in the IPL. Not that they got picked or something, but still we should just mention it, I guess. And it went very much as expected. Sri Lanka scored like some 7,000, 8,000 runs. Everyone got 100 for fun. There was one game where I think everyone got a 50. Everyone got a 50 and no one got 100, but still they made some crazy amount of runs and all that. And then Bangladesh said, that is because it was not a spinning pitch, boss. Next test we'll put on spinning pitch. We'll bring Shakib Al Hasan, then you see what will happen. Then some number 7 guy comes and scores a century for them, for Sri Lanka, that is. And Bangladesh again lost the game. So this nonchalance of how, Bangladesh was steamrolled, their history has taken a very interesting turn since the last World Cup, at least. I mean, it has always been spicy, but it has taken a much more serious role since the last World Cup when the whole Angela Matthews incident happened. So I think even during the T20 series that they played, whenever someone took a wicket, they were pointing to their watches, saying that, because of that whole timed out thing, all that happened. But Vamu, please tell us about this presentation ceremony thing. After Sri Lanka
Why are
won
you
the Test
burying the
series.
lead, Ra? Why are you burying the lead like it is Bangladesh or something? Let's go with that.
So Sri Lanka showed up. So they won the Test match. I think it was done. It was pretty quick. But after they won the Test match, everyone went back into the dressing room and came out wearing their training kits, that's shorts and those loose floppy t-shirts, to collect the awards and stand in front of the check and all of that. And upon quizzed as to why so, even if no one asked them, actually no one asks them, right? Who cares for them? But still, they themselves made it a point to tell everyone that this was like playing a practice session for us. This is not even a test. It didn't register as a contest for us. Therefore, yeah, we have come in our this thing, saying this is like a practice game. So we are accepting this trophy in our practice kits. So this blow to the chest to Bangladesh cricket. What do you guys have to say about it?
Amazing.
I mean,
they deserve
I will
it.
say only
They
one
deserve
thing.
it. They deserve
They
it.
deserve.
Like, I mean, rubbish team, rubbish like antiques. I mean, what are they doing? Like God knows, basically. And for a team that is, you said like the result was an expected line. Bangladesh are damn difficult to beat at home, and for them to like lose so comprehensively at home, like they have pretty much hit the scraping the barrel basically, as in terms of their cricket, like that catch, which like that three fielders in the slips wearing helmets like juggling a ball, then you had like seven fielders chasing down a ball to the boundary, and Akhtar Ali Khan, oh what energy shown by the Bangladeshi fielders and stuff like that on air, like proper meme material they have become.
Vamu, like a very nice poem, unspoiled boy, not realizing that PGK and Max are keeping quiet about how difficult Bangladesh are to beat at home. Hoping that you will bring up the fact that last time India went there, it took an epic innings by Ashwin for us to pull off that win against Bangladesh.
At the same
the
Chattogram.
magnitude. Yeah,
No
the
one will
magnitude of
remember
that
this.
victory.
At Chattogram only it was, sir. Please remember, it was at Chattogram only.
It was at Chattogram. But also now the thing is, the reason I don't talk about that is because the other person on the other end of the crease was Shreyas Iyer.
Shreyas.
So
Banyan
now,
wala.
so now I'm like, whoa, what does it say now? I mean, maybe it wasn't that hard. Who knows?
So between Shreyas and Ashwin, there is a vest and a dhoti ad, I suppose. Like one full outfit is
Oh
manufactured.
no, I have this. I have one thing to tell about this Shreyas thing. I'll come, but once I want to go back to this thing that Vamu just mentioned in quick. So this thing has been coming on Insta Reels. I watched this reel multiple times, where there is a catch spilled by the keeper, goes to first slip. First slip spills the catch, goes to second slip. Second slip also spills the catch, but tries to catch it again, but it and grasses it. Which, 10 points for Gryffindor for effort and stuff. But the fact was that the slips were also wearing helmets.
Yes.
Right? And that is a very interesting sight. My guess is maybe they were like running short on over rates or something. So the previous over was the spinner, and next over is the fast bowler. So they quickly short leg and short leg and leg they quickly just went and stood at slips is what I'm guessing. But
So
it
are you
looks so funny.
saying this is karma coming up full circle with helmets and lack of time for Bangladesh from the World Cup? Is this what we're talking about?
I don't
My
know,
God.
but that's what it looks like. And so yeah, that is hilarious. The other one is where people are now putting all sorts of soundtracks for, and this is what I don't understand. Okay, so the ball has been cut through through third man. It is racing to the boundary, and generally one fielder goes, and for the relay throw there are two fielders. There's another fielder that goes to help for the relay throw. But when five fielders run towards the ball, I'm trying to understand like what could happen in anyone's mind. I mean, we all play cricket in some in some level of this together. But like what triggers that in your mind that you have to run? So let's say Tony is standing at third man. Tony runs first. Then PGK is at third slip. Say no. Tony will not make it. The ball will reach the boundary before Tony. Let me run. So PGK starts running. Then Vamu, who is at second slip, decides PGK will run, but PGK cannot throw. Na? So let me also go help. So then Vamu is chasing PGK. I am at first slip and like, for what hair this Vamu guy is going? Okay, PG cannot throw, but Vamu also cannot throw. What is a useless fellow? So I am also running. And then in between all this, the captain decides, why are four people running? Someone should tell them they're going to look like shit, guys. Then the captain also starts running. So what is the what could be the possible thought process here between five people chasing a ball that is going down to third man? It's like I've thought about this. This is not like a thing I just come up on the pod, right? I have thought about this. It's because I watched that reel so many times. It's like, and I've gone back and trying to look at people's positions and like at what moment they decide. But it's all instantaneous. Like everyone's like, oh my god, we need to go get this ball. And everyone's trying to run, and no one has decided saying, okay, this guy also is running. Maybe I should stop, or maybe I should not. No, they're like, I'm going to run faster than you, boss. I will try to get to the ball. Whoever touches the ball first will get will get one samosa and sweet packet or something. I don't know what is going on here. But
it is a practice session only, as Sri Lanka pointed out at the end of it.
Exactly.
It is first catching
they were
practice.
probably doing yo-yo test. Okay, so that's it. Running.
The best part about that would have been like if five slip fielders like chasing that ball, they threw that ball back and we had overthrows because there was nobody to back up. That would have been the ultimate.
Or hit the helmet and was given 5 runs.
Or they all try a relay throw. Because that's what Australia taught us, right? Like in the 2000s, when two people run to the boundary, when one runs faster and the other is behind, and that guy scoops it back, and then they take the throw back. Here, five people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth person throws it to wicketkeeper. 5-man relay. Anyway,
this is the opposite of when
burying...
India used to roll the ball from the boundary so that it gets roughed up.
But the interesting thing is, speaking of burying the lead, this podcast has been going on for like 45 minutes and we have still not gotten into the IPL. Okay, this is the if you are Mohan Krishnamurthy, this is the place where you can stop listening and first half is all yours. But now I guess we should now.
No,
say a
little
little
This
bit
not the
about what
this
IPL.
happened?
One more
black
very interesting thing
black
has happened.
Yes.
black
One
tongue
more very
Max
interesting thing
fellow
has happened, guys.
black tongue
Yes,
Max
I know the
fellow was
interesting thing that
like
has happened. I saw
was
it. I
bigging up
decided not to talk about it. You decided to
was
bring it up.
bigging
Go.
up was bigging up Andrik Norke like
Norke.
anything. Who hit like 2 sixers? Ashwin hit. Robro cannot hit. Kohli cannot hit, and all that. Fellow has like Romario Shepherd. One Shepherd from West Indies has come in and hit him for 32 runs in 1 over. Like 4 sixers, da Max.
My God.
Number 8 batsman for Mumbai Indians.
Romario Shepherd will not make the T20 team for West Indies, so it doesn't matter. It's a not count. It's a not count.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Oh,
no,
wow.
but
So Mumbai has scored 42 of the last 8 balls. Interesting. Chalo.
so the one thing wanted to also mention is that yesterday so again, this is again NRI guy here, so you guys need to provide some context to me. Is that there is this show called the Kapil Sharma Show, which thankfully to the stars I do not get. I cannot watch. I'm very happy to it because it comes on some Sony or some other channel like that, which I don't get, right? So I only get
No,
Hotstar.
it's on Netflix now.
I know, I'm coming to that. Yes.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
agony. Wait.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah,
Cut this
I only
out,
get
cut this
I get Hotstar, so it's not there. I've only seen some clips on YouTube or Reels or when someone has shared something, and it has always been a very nauseating thing, and I've always wondered why everyone from a Shah Rukh Khan to Kamal Hassan, goes to promote their thing. But last night, as I was sitting at home and we were scrolling, the wife and I, we noticed that now it is on YouTube. It is on Netflix. Like, okay, we should see what is this thing. It is on Netflix. And we open it up and the episode that shows up is there. Just like now, I thought, okay, this is a thing where there's people just send all these, every movie promotion they send. Now, BCCI for promotion, BCCI itself needs promotion. That BCCI is sending 2 of its most camera-friendly, bankable stars to this show. And here also, it was not Ashwin. It was not Ashwin. Because they don't, the show is predominantly in Hindi. And so the Ek Gaon Mein Ek Kisan Raghutata, they did not want to kind of broadcast all to 192 countries. So they have sent the hero of Chattogram, Shreyas Iyer, along with husband of Ritika, Robro, to this show. And it was supremely nauseating. In fact, it was much more nauseating than just the clips that I watched. But one very interesting thing happened. We're watching and the wife is watching. And so we were, luckily it was on Netflix, right? So we can forward. So whenever any of those, guys in drag showed up, we were just scrolling past it and all that, just to see the bits where he's talking to these 2 people, which I think in the entire episode was maybe a grand of 7 minutes or 8 minutes.
Oh, here also drag in the middle of the innings. So same problem.
Nice.
So we are watching this, and then the Begum goes, Rohit, I know, because actually at one point Shreya says that Rohit was my idol. It's like, how old is this Rohit guy to be this guy's idol? Rohit doesn't look more than like 35, 36 something. Yeah, he's that much only. This guy only is chumma putting off Pila. So all this happens, and she she knows Rohit, and she's listening to stories and all that, and then Shreyas is in this Ramraj banyan that he is the ambassador of. So he's wearing a banyan, on top of that a shirt without any buttons. I don't know what weird styling it is, but we know it is a
Wait,
banyan because he
for
keeps...
real?
Yeah. I watched it with these 2 eyes.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
And so the wife then
Oh
goes
my
with,
God.
so
The
this Shreyas
creep
guy,
of,
is he a good player? I said, yeah, I mean, he's the captain of KKR and all that. Oh, okay. Then India captaincy chance and all he's having, or what? Yeah, he was captain for one game against Bangladesh. He helped us win. Bangladesh only, no? Was the answer. So I said, no. So it became a thing where that show ended and there was only 7 minutes of that show. For the next 8 minutes, more than the relevant time spent on Shreyas Iyer, I had to spend time with the wife explaining the role of Shreyas Iyer and his importance to the England cricket scene. Saying, no, guy was very good in the World Cup also. He only helped a lot of games for the World Cup. Yeah, I've not heard of his name only. I say, yeah, that, I know it is, but But guys, that show is, yeah, from what I've heard, this is like
You don't,
8,
once
10
again, this is
times
one
worse.
show that you don't need to watch to know it is bad. Right? Like,
Yeah, I
why,
agree.
why do you like,
I
why are you
didn't think it
going
would be
at this?
so bad, right? It's like this.
This is actually a show where you can consume the relevant content on Reels, right? On Reels, it'll be there. That's what Rohit Sharma said. Oh, my phone pay, whenever it's there, I put it on, don't put it on loudspeaker because Rohit gives Gali. Very good. Funny. Got it. Super. That's it. That's
Correct.
all I saw.
Those are the
But
only
that is
pieces
only
that are there.
relevant part. Everything else is just nonsense.
There is one guy who shows up drunk and he says, "Come, I want to be in Mumbai Indians team," and some nonsense. Then one guy dressed as a female flight attendant.
See, I mean, I know
comes and
everyone
sits
is
on his
trolling
lap.
Hardik Pandya, okay, but really, Max, I mean, like, I don't think you should call him a drunkard and all that. That is like too much. Okay, I don't think we warrants that. Behave. Come on.
Behave!
That's
Behave! This is the
Yeah,
greatest segue we could have
now
used.
that we've done with all of that, can we get into the real comedy? Which
Yes.
is not
Tony,
Shubman
please.
Gill and Tanmay Butt, but
Tony,
the IPL
please lead us
itself.
off. Lead us
Good.
off
Go for
into
it.
behave.
Go for it as the host. You only tell
No,
us
you would be
what
much
is
better.
this thing?
As a cohabitant of Mumbai, please tell us about the great things people from Mumbai and also the spiritual father of this podcast most recently did.
Yeah, so this was Mumbai's first ever home game, this IPL, right? I think it was their third match, and I think it was against RR, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And and obviously the Wankhede crowd, a very spirited crowd, but also a really knowledgeable crowd, and also has enough water to wash their hands, and also a very rare kind of situation that is there.
In one sentence, he has bombed 3 cities. But go on.
Here's the thing, right? Like Wankhede is a stadium that has booed Sachin Tendulkar in the past, so it was obvious. I think Kaus had predicted this on the last podcast, which was recorded before the match happened, but I think released after the match happened or whatever. That that Hardik might be
One
booed. And in
shot
fact,
fired at Hank also.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
oh man, Romario Shepherd and me. Just like kneeling there. Yeah, but anyway, so this was at the toss, and basically Sanjay Manjrekar, I don't know what is up with his sudden need for facial hair. Like I think he's become finally the secretary or president of his Residents Welfare Association or something. Full uncle energy is put off, and has told the fans who are booing Hardik to behave. Right, like I mean, talk about overreach from Residents Welfare Association uncles. I didn't want to say RWA because then people will accuse me of being political and all. But in both cases, this creep of uncledom is pretty spectacular too. Like, who tells a crowd to behave? No idea.
And do they listen? What he thought he is like Maximus Marillius in that Gladiator movie. Are you entertained? Everyone just shut up. Like what?
Yeah, but I think a special mention of the commentary this IPL, which has been absolutely appalling. And I will throw it to Vamu to tell us about Murli, Karthik, and Harsha. Unless PGK wants to go first.
No, go, Murli, go.
No, I mean, it is generally like, just like people coming to the commentary box having fun. Is it Manjrekar? That was not the only incident, right? Yesterday, there was this Rajasthan Royals were wearing pink one. Like they had brought some rural lady to hand over solar lamp and all that. Sanju and Faf were like handing or taking it seriously. And then after all of that, Sanju Manju is like now back to the serious stuff.
Serious business. But what this also triggered is a thread of Murli Karthik's greatest mishits, right? Of which there have been many this IPL. I'll need to sort of hunt it down. But PGK, your thoughts on commentary?
While you hunt it down, let me also say that yesterday, when to continue the RR RCB match, right? When RCB is batting, the commentators are busy doing two things simultaneously. on one hand, they are saying, oh my God, Virat Kohli, what an amazing innings, so fast, so spectacular, so brilliant. He's just 50 in just 38 balls. Oh my God, so amazing. Here is the king. And then immediately after that, like while doing this, on the other end, they're like, RCB need to get a move on. This is actually an under par score. I wonder why they're not speeding up. But Kohli, oh my God, Kohli, so great. Today, Ian Bishop actually had to put an apology on Twitter, who normally never responds to anything. Somebody just tagged Ian Bishop and essentially said that you actually said in your commentary yesterday that Kohli got a 15, just 38 balls, and that was like a little bit weird. You didn't have to say that. And then Ian Bishop actually replies to it and said, yes, you are right. That is a word that I used in a misjudgment. I should not have used that word. I'll be more careful in the future. Dude, what's going on? What's going on with commentators? Commentators are apologizing for weird things right now. And I mean, the worst is Anjum Chopra. I know like Murali Karthik is there, but my God, Anjum Chopra is so bad. Anjum Chopra has no idea. Half the time she keeps mixing up Kohli and Faf du Plessis. Like, that's an amazing shot by Kohli. I'm like, that is Faf. Then she's like, no. Faf is running. He's like hitting it up in the air. That is Kohli. She is like in this weird space. And she said this one thing like 3 times. She was trying her best to, like, you know, the thing where you say it once and then you're not getting a reaction. So you have to say it again after like some 3 balls. Then you have to say it again after 3 balls. Anjum Chopra is going on a roll. She has forgotten. There is no response. There's no this thing. She's just going on her own. Like as I was saying, I was actually starting to miss Athar Ali a little. Really, really bad.
Yeah, but there have been 2 standout commentators this IPL, right? Which is not saying much, but they've been pretty good. And I think this is where Choppy will pay attention, because our man Bishop's been literally sort of on word poetry mode, right? I think he described that new fast bowler, Mayank Yadav. What is his name?
Yes.
Mayank?
Yep,
Yes.
yep,
Mayank Yadav.
yep.
Mayank
Yep.
Yadav as a child
Somebody
of the
was
wind or
past the
something.
eye test. Yeah.
Ayyo.
Child of the wind is what Bishop called it. So Chops will say, as Ian paints a picture, or Asian paints, but what he will not tell you is Neroli Meadows, who's the other person who's been superb with sort of background researches and stuff. I honestly think there must be someone in the combox who's providing this info to them, if only they bother to listen, right? And I think Bishi and Neroli Meadows have made good use of it. But Murli Karthik greatest hits thread, guys. This is posted by at Elite Cynic on Twitter. So I'm just so Murli Karthik just called Tilak Verma Tilak Naidu. Okay, he has a rich history. Asked Mitch Johnson on commentary if he would have another over of Mitch Johnson. Meant Mitchell Stark. Called Shivam Mavi as Shivam Dubey, Shabazz Ahmed as Sarfraz Ahmed, Alex Carey as Jim Carey. Mayank Yadav is Sandeep Yadav. Harpreet Brar just completed a good over, and Murli Karthik is like another good over by Prab Simran Singh. Right? Famously, I don't think this one is on Murli Karthik though, because Punjab also cannot keep a tab on which players are the correct ones. We have to mention Shashank Redemption. This week, guys, was Max. What is the equivalent of Mahabharata in this? When you have got a player that you
By
didn't
accident.
want, who was Shashank Singh, and he actually wins you a match out of nowhere.
Shaguni.
No, this is
that
Ashwatthama.
Urvashi
What are you
Shapam
saying? This is
Ubagaramaya, whatever.
Ashwatthama.
Urvashi Shapam.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is basically coming and saying Ashwatthama. No, Ashwatthama the elephant. No, not the elephant. This Ashwatthama.
Oh,
Come on.
PGK stole that from me. I was getting up to say, tell the story of Ashwatthama, and then immediately like swooped in like the nut grabber he is and grabbed everyone's nuts on that one.
Suddenly I got an aha
man.
moment. So I had to go.
Super.
But yeah, like what is like, and again, the thing with Shashank Singh, and even when it happened during the auction, right? I think a lot of people are saying, no, this is the guy who played for Hyderabad And he hit. There was a couple of games where when the Hyderabad was playing in Dubai, in the Dubai IPL, he did well and so on. But it just feels good now to see that he's able to give them a win, and yeah, that'll be good for him. Again, he's not a young chap or anything. Okay, the guy is 32 years old.
Oh yeah, just to
so-
complete that Murli Karthik thing.
Murli
Murli Karthik
Karthik, yeah.
also called
Young.
Shashank young Shashank
Exactly.
or something.
So the
While he's
youth
like
has done it.
32.
All this youth has done it for Punjab Kings. And a guy is 32 years. He's been a journeyman. He's played for like 4 or 5. He's been part of 4 franchises at least so far. He's gotten a game only with SRH, but he's been a part of other 2 franchises for a while now. So a true journeyman of the IPL. But speaking of the IPL, since we haven't spoken of the IPL, another interesting phenomenon is slowly happening with a certain man who is like one of the all-time greats of a generation. And whenever that certain individual scored a century, it was ominous signs for his team. And
For his team.
in the 2000s, you knew this was happening a lot with one certain Sachin Tendulkar, that we would always like, please don't make a century, please don't make a century. And in fact, that game against Pakistan, I think he got out for 95 or something, right? And we were all very happy because now that he got out for 95, we have a chance to win. Pakistan cannot Mushfiqur Rahim us in this World Cup game. So that was the thing. It was a period of that, and so we were very happy like that. So similar thing is now happening, guys. Whenever a certain individual scores a century in the IPL, his team is outclassed. Not just outclassed, which was I think happening. Getting Mushfiqur Rahim, getting something. This is different. You're being outclassed by another centurion. So not that you can even take a consolation player of the match trophy saying, okay, they won, but still, sir, because you scored century, sir, we will give you player of the match and all that. That also is not there now. Another guy will come. He will also hit a century in double time. So the previous time this happened was last season. It was in Bangalore. It was in Bangalore with Gujarat, and this was like the 69th or 70th, like the last game of the season, where RCB was 5th and they had to win against the table toppers GT to qualify. And they decide we're going to bat first. This is all the right signs, and when guys comes up, scores a century, and they post 197 or 198, something like close to 200 in Chinnaswamy, you're gold. And then this guy walks up, Shubman Gill, and returns a favor in like 50 balls or something. And then they win with like an over to spare or something like that. They just canter home. And that day was when they started. And the same thing now has happened. Yesterday also, there was a painful century where Kohli, not only scored a century, but also again enhanced Ashwin's chances of making the World Cup by playing him out and showing him immense respect like the Bhishma he is, because Arjuna reveres Bhishma so much. But then he was outclassed by a century by Josh. So please tell us, Tony, about your favorite franchise and Josh and a century.
Sorry, before we get there, let me just also remind everyone that last game against RCB, when Shubman Gill scores that century, that next day is when he puts his very infamous thirst trap photograph. Yes. It was the next day. So we can all expect Mr. Butler to also do something similar today. I'm refreshing his Instagram right now to see if he's also putting up a thirst trap. But yes, so I guess that's thirst trap days. But Goda, Tony, we are in very, very happy mode right now. RR at the top of the table.
Yeah, no, I think it's time finally at 5:45 on a Sunday after a couple of beers to talk about RCB, who have been epic this season, right? And it has been summed up well again by yet another tweet by CSKN716, who goes by Manya, right? Game 1, this is what RCB did. RCB's contribution to IPL. Game 1 helped a washed out Mustafizur get ahead in the purple cap race. Game 2 gave Shashank Singh confidence after what happened in the auction. Game 3, you would assume by now, like, this is enough. No. Game 3 resurrected Narayan's batting career. Game 4 helped initiate talks of Child of the Wind, Mayank Yadav, for ICT. Game 5 got Butler, who's not done anything so far, woefully out of Butler, back in form. Greatest franchise for real. For real. As a
Yeah,
resident Kohli
Butler,
and RCB supporter.
no, the Butler since the World Cup in India has been woefully out of form, right? All of November he was bad. He went
What
then
about Narayan for the last 3 years?
no, wait. The Butler, at least Narayan, you don't expect, right? Narayan, I have an explanation for Narayan. I can rationalize the Narayan thing. The Butler thing is like since World Cup in India, he was been bad. Then they went to West Indies. England toured West Indies. He was
Yeah.
bad. They played. He played the SA20. He was bad. So the guy has not been able to get bat on ball and for so many games now, in last 6 months. But then RCB happens, and now you are having this Josh Butler right there. This is like Shant Gadadari Beam. Shant, no, you cannot chant this Gadadari Beam anymore. This guy is ready.
All that is fine. I want to ask Vamu, whose fault is it? Is it Kohli's fault or is it the rest of RCB's fault? Please explain to us. Why are they in this situation?
I think this has to go back to the main auction like 3 years back where they got it, I think, all wrong basically.
Wait,
Fortunately,
are you
what
talking
happened
about the water crisis in Bangalore or this current IPL team? Like, it's all
no,
like
no.
Purana
I
Paap
think
and
they were lucky that like during that period a couple of the IPLs didn't happen in India, and they have a team which is suited to conditions which favor bowling a bit. They don't have a team which is good in like good batting conditions.
Hey,
This is
who are
not a team that
RCB's bowlers? They have bowlers, huh?
they don't. They don't. I mean, the problem is they ended up paying a lot of money for the likes of Harshal, Hasaranga, and all those guys, and they ended up releasing them one by one. And now, obviously, you've got like a bowling attack which reads Yash Dayal, Mayank Dagar, etc. They have. This is a franchise which can't wait for the main auction fast enough. I wouldn't be surprised if they let go of Kohli also after this season. I think it's a franchise which needs a clean break. And Kohli is become like a larger than life figure there. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a direction they go in. But yeah, I mean, this is a franchise that can't like see the
See, I
season.
think two things. Okay, number one, fine. You can say, oh, main auction and all that stuff, fine. Nobody asked them to go and pay 16 crores and get cap green. That was this year. Okay, they didn't have to go do that. Fine. 3 years
I
back, you
think
did something fine. Now who's asking you?
no, I think that's I don't have such a big problem with the Cam Green buy because like what do you do in this auction? Like you buy Pat Cummins for 20 crores, Mitch Stark for 24 crores. It's not as if like you've got like somebody coming through in that auction whom you think you can spend money on, right? I mean, all the franchises went and spent crazy money on players whom we don't. RCB obviously had more holes to fill, and that's always more difficult to do in a mini auction, basically. I mentioned this at that time as well when they bought Cam Green. This is just like to option value for 1 year. If he clicks, they will end up retaining him. If he doesn't, they will let go of him. They think that he could be the next big thing, and that's the rationale behind the Cameroon Green buy. I don't really per se have a problem with that. Their problem is more Faf, Maxwell, etc. You can't have like all your overseas contingent like scoring
Batters.
single figures. I mean,
And as
you
batters.
play, yeah, and you play three batters, all of them are striking 100, all of them are scoring single figures, and then like it's easy to dump on Kohli. Uh, I don't think, I mean, of all the innings in the IPL, I thought Kohli had his worst innings yesterday. But at the end of the day, like, you also have to see what the others are doing, right? I mean, it has to be put in context as well. And this is a franchise that, I mean, they have gotten a lot of things wrong. It's a bit like Delhi in that way. I mean, Delhi also banged big on David Warner, Mitch Marsh, etc., and they have never gotten going. And it's just like players who are probably slightly over the hill, coming to the end of their careers, etc. And those kind of players are like very difficult to replace in a mini
So,
auction.
Vamu, one specific question. Yesterday, who are you blaming? The RCB finished 183 for 3. So, whose fault is it?
See, I think
In statistical terms, wickets
no,
are.
no, I think fundamentally I do believe that in the IPL, when it is held in India, it does favor teams chasing across venues. I mean, like,
No, come on.
you
Are you
can.
saying they got enough on the board? Is
No,
183
I don't
enough?
think I'm saying
Huh.
like batting second is a lot easier than batting first
That's
across
fine. Wait,
venues.
let's just like deep dive on this
Yeah,
point and bring Max
yeah.
and PGK in. Max, PGK,
Let's
is
go.
there any rule that allows you to sort of retire out in case you're not playing well? Any cricketer that has done this in the IPL ever? Like, has this happened? Do we know about this?
Sorry. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it
Brilliant.
either.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Hey, how
wow.
can you be 3 down and not have enough runs on the board? I don't understand. Like, come on.
Wait,
I mean,
that is their read of the wicket, right? I mean, you had like Faf coming in at the end saying that they were playing for 190. I mean, that's what they said. And like, you
Yeah.
can't blame Kohli if that's the game plan, right? I mean, if collectively they have come to a decision, maybe it's Kohli who has said, ye wicket pe 190 se bahut ho jayega. And everybody said, you are right, you are right. Maybe that's what has happened. But like, that's what has happened collectively as a game plan, right? Now, I mean, the
I
fact
mean,
of the matter is, I think like even 210 probably wouldn't have sufficed yesterday, given the RCB bowling. So,
I
I
also
mean,
think that a lot of weird decisions happen. I know it's very fashionable to dump on things after the results, but even during, very weird decisions have been going on. They have not played Mahipal Lomror, who knows the Jaipur ground properly. He's from there. They haven't played him. Vaishak had a great game in the beginning by bowling that back of the length, slower cutters, and he was very successful. You needed someone like that in a ground like this. They didn't play him either. Then after that, they didn't get Maxwell to bowl. It was pretty evident that the spinners were the only one getting the traction. You didn't get Maxwell to bowl. And it was like, no, right-handers are batting. So we can't get Maxwell to bowl. Off spinner Ashwin has been bowling to fucking Kohli and have 2 right-handers. He bowled 4 overs. You only watched. So some things are very, very weird in what they're doing.
No,
So
I think
I don't
only
know.
sympathy for RCB is they've got 11 players and 10 players are out of form. And one guy is basically just like I don't think Maxwell has played this badly ever, right? And they've got
no, he has played
someone
this
sitting
badly in 4 earlier IPL editions when he used to be at like Kings 11 Punjab, basically.
Punjab. Who counts Punjab, dude? Like even. No, I'm just
Prashant Singh.
comparing and contrasting with SRH, right? Who had a great run, but it's at the end of the day, IPL is all about just like form more than anything, right? Or are you saying that there
No,
is
but like
fundamentally something
SRH
different
is
about SRH?
I mean, SRH is a great example of being wise in hindsight, right? Like after that
Uh,
auction, we were all like,
Too
who
many
buys,
overseas
goes and
players.
buys Pat Cummins for like 16, 18 crores? Who makes him captain?
correct.
Is Pat
Yeah.
Cummins even a T20 player, etc.?
Right.
But they have clicked. I mean,
Yeah.
like if there was one buy which we are all very critical of, forget like buying Pat Cummins, they went and made him captain also. So you have to like literally play him every game. But that's worked out so far. So I mean, all these things like look great in
No,
hindsight. They
that's what
are
I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a question of like form or team selection or something else? SRH is a team that has purely been powered by Kavya's smiles and PGK's hate for Travis Head. Like, there is nothing beyond this. Come on.
Oh God.
They had pretty much the same unit last year also, right? SRH
no,
and
they
before
didn't.
that.
They didn't.
No.
Like
We were
both.
very critical of two
Pat
things.
Cummins has
One
made
is
the big difference.
Yeah, no, we were critical of two things. One is, of course, how much they paid for Pat Cummins made him captain. And I think the second thing we were very critical about was how many overseas players do you really need? Because there are only 4
Yep.
slots. You have like a million of them sitting in the bench. What's the point of all this? But somehow it's working for them. So yeah. Max.
No, that is the point. No, somehow it is working for them. It's like
So, see, speaking of somehow
No,
it's
but
working for them,
somehow
and
it is
Vamu
working.
also said, Vamu also said just some time back that people who are approaching the end of their career, when it's all over, that time and all, you can't bank on them. Max has just entered the chat. Max, please talk about your team, Max. Come on. Dispel this notion. What is all this bullshit that he's saying?
No, but again, it's early days, right? We're at game 4 for everyone. So again, and that's the reason I always kept telling, right? And Mumbai is that one team which I absolutely hate, because they are a team where if they are down, it's like that movie, Vikram's movie Dil, where he's getting beaten up by this guy on the railway track, and he says, "Kill me right now, because if I get up, then it'll be the end for you," right? And he's dead and battered, but he doesn't die, and somehow he survives, and he then comes. That is Mumbai. I hate them for that one reason.
I like how we have also become a YouTube channel that references like Tamil movies, arcane stuff to make a point about cricket. I like it. Well done, Max. The transformation is on. Okay, sorry, continue, please.
So, but that's how that team is. Like right now, like they've scored again. They are playing Delhi Capitals, and they're playing Andrik Norke, whose confidence has been shattered after Ashna hit him for 2 sixes. That now some guy without a neck can beat him up as well. Have you noticed Romario Shepherd has a head and a shoulder? He doesn't have a neck. His just head sprouts right from his shoulder. Please go check that again. But yeah, so they're going to win.
Check again. Okay, so it's like okay, all right.
They're going to win.
No,
now.
but speaking about time zones in West Indies, come on, tell me which year Romario Shepherd was born in.
I don't know. Guy looks 40, but might be 25.
Which year? Romario Shepherd.
Don't
look it up.
96.
96.
No, 94. No, wasn't
94.
sorry,
94.
94.
Wasn't the World Cup in USA?
Yes,
94,
98.
94.
So yeah,
94.
he was named after
France, 98.
Romario, the Brazilian footballer, because I'm guessing his parents stayed up and watched the World Cup. And he was born in November 1994, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
This is same as Sachin Ravinder's story, or
or the Sunil Narayan story, or whatever it is. But guys, we should talk about Sunil Narayan. Okay, and this is the thing. Guy has been absolutely.
How old is Sunil Narayan, by the way?
I don't know, man. Don't put quiz questions like this, man. Adi only can
no,
put
I
quiz
also don't know.
I'm
asking
Chopra can put quiz questions with the answers
I
also
would
don't
say
make sense.
38 types.
he will
maybe.
be.
Oh, he's only
35. Oh, dude, he's only 35.
He's younger
what
to
is
all
the-
of us by significantly.
Yeah.
But what
He's
is the deal with his action? Like, that's the only reason he doesn't play international cricket, right? Because of his action. Like, he has a suspicion that he will get called.
No, he doesn't play international cricket because he doesn't give a fuck. Right? Guy
No, I
is
think
the
there is
epitome
some-
of
No,
not
Vambo is
giving a
also
fuck.
correct that there is the action thing, which is why he thinks that he'll get called out, which is why he doesn't go and play
But
international.
you won't get called out in IPL or what? You won't get called out in 100
actually,
or what?
somebody suggested that. Was it Simon Dool who suggested that actually Sunil Narayan has gone back to the action that got him into like some kind of a soup earlier? It looks like he's gone back to that. So somebody suggested that.
No, but again, here's the thing, right? Guy has been non-existent with the bat. At least with the ball, he's been functional, right? Again, not great or anything. He's been functional. He's been holding up overs and will roll up with 1 wicket, 2 wicket or something. He's not like steamrolling through teams or something like that. But this is the whole Gambhir and thing. And then when I was on the pod a few weeks earlier also, when asked what do you look forward, this is what I said. I look forward to Gambhir at KKR. Because I don't know something he is bringing. He has unlocked the whole, because he's the one who started the whole Sunil Narayan opening thing as well. Because and this thing which he has unlocked is phenomenal. Because Chris Lynn and Sunil Narayan used to open, and they would just run through sides like crazy. And same thing now, Gambhir has come back and he has done this. At first, I was the one who criticizing just because Gambhir will come, he'll start doing all his old tricks again. But his old tricks are working. They're still bowling into him. They're still bowling outside off. He's still able to slash hard, send it to sixes. No one, I mean, okay, again, it was against RCB, but still, like, there is something called footage. There is something called history. It's like not a guy just showed up like Mayank Yadav yesterday. No one has a clue of who he is. Guy's been around for almost like 10 years of the IPL and played 500 T20 games across franchises, guys. And still no one knows what to do with him. Like, what is this great mystery? I just don't understand. Like, again, KKR.
Hey, there is
SRH,
no great mystery. That is like RCB bowling shit.
No, but he did it in the other game as well, right? Again, he scored. He scored against. He scored a 50 as well. He got an 80 against these guys. He got a 50 as well, and this is what I don't get. Like, teams like KKR, SRH, they still shouldn't be making the playoffs. Right? And Vamu asked me what's your playoffs. I still say I don't think these guys, because there is no reason why these teams are going there. They're only going there because of these freak things that are happening, and I don't know how possible it is to keep continuing that over a period of 14 games. Now, again, stranger things have happened. Gujarat Titans made it to the finals 2 years in a row, despite all these, strange things happening. They had a perfect synchronization of strange things happening every single game. Tewatia shows up one game. Sai Sudarshan shows up one game. Vijay Shankar scores a 50 in one game. Vijay Shankar, guys, scored a 50 in one game. All that happened, and that's how they made a run to the final. So we
CSK
never
winning
know.
5 IPL titles.
We have to end this podcast. Okay? Please don't make me extend the podcast for another 45 minutes. All of you are married. You will get thrown out of your houses because it is morning for me. I still have to go make breakfast. You guys have to go and have dinner plans on a Sunday. Please don't make me extend this podcast for another 45 minutes.
Before that, PGK has to spend an hour making coffee, darling. Don't do this to him.
Okay,
don't
while
wanna
we wind
go
up
there.
the podcast for final thoughts, before that, I'll just quickly talk about the table, where everyone stands right now.
WTC.
The WTC table.
No, man. Okay. Talk about the fucking IPL table. Okay. Where we are right now. Everybody has played like somewhere around 4 games. I think by today they would have played, like, everyone would have played 4 games today. So RR right at the top at clear distance with 8 points. They have won all 4 games. All right. KKR at 6 points, played 3, won 3. But if they win the next game, I think they go above RR because their net run rate is obscenely high. I imagine that is because of which game was it? This game, the RCB game? God knows which game it was. Anyway, then followed by there is
It was
big
the DC
chunk.
one, no? They scored
DC
some.
game,
It must have been the DC one. It was the DC one.
270, 270.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just fell short of
yeah.
the SRH record, and then DC made 160. So they won by
correct. That is the
106
one.
runs.
Correct. That is the one. Then there is a big chunk of teams in the mid-table. CSK, LSG, SRH, PBKS, and GT all at 4.
This is very
RCB,
helpful, PGK. I must say. Thank you.
Your WCT table is like helpful, it seems. So that is
No,
that is
nobody
not very
looks at
different.
that table. This one we all know. Like, we have an intuitive grasp of, because the matches are happening one after the other in the same place. And like WTC, which is like,
But this is the
WTF.
archival purposes. We are at this point in time where RR is at the top of the table, and going by past history, RR, this is where it starts to go. So we should actually have fun.
The only thing I will say from this table with RCB at 8 is Virat Kohli. If you want to come meet me and like change the fortunes of your team, please feel free to do so.
Ooh.
I shall not say do.
Very nice. Pandya will ring the bell in your door tonight. Okay.
No, but
That's all
to do the logical conclusion of yet another episode. So at this point, which are the 4 teams that are going through according to each of us? I still have my doubts over KKR, to be honest. I'm
No, I still, I one of KKR or one of them will win. I still think CSK and MI will somehow still make it up there. along with RR.
MI.
PSK is third. They will. Yes.
Yeah.
CSK will be MI. Really?
You
You're on
watch-
MI.
Watch, man.
Okay.
Bloody unless today DC defeats them, you are not counting MI out. Those guys, when they sniff, they will be in. Sky is back. Now they got Madhwal back. They finally are getting their bowling also right. They were starting off with that poor kid, 17-year-old kid, and like all MI things. Like this is the
Arjun Tendulkar.
thing. No, this is the thing. MI
This
right
is
from
this is
Richard
when
Levy.
Arjun Tendulkar is when Sachin Tendulkar gives up hope on the third rock from the sun. Like the third ball he bowls will be like, please enough, like.
No, but MI has a history, okay, right from Richard Levy. So whenever they see something happening in the world and they just open up Cricinfo and they see an headline, they say, I want this guy. Right? So they got Richard Levy, guy came completely clueless. They got Luke Ronchi because of one inning, came completely clueless. Poor chap now, they saw Mafaka get all those wickets. They must have seen the same reel that I saw and mentioned it on the podcast. Got that poor chap they got. So that is they did MI things. But now Madhwal is there, Sky is back. That team will now slowly do things and go the right direction. CSK also, they put
Here's the
Kundi.
funny thing, right? PGK. So CSK are number 3 and they've played 4 matches and have 4 points, right? So if MI win today, they have 2, which is like just 2 points off the top third.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's only
right?
everyone just played 4. Right? So again, CSK also, they did Kundi in 2 games because for weird reasons they still
They did
gotten...
what in 2 games?
They put weird Kundi in 2 games. Because nothing makes sense in like how they have picked their thing. Like I think they need to restructure and get this Tikshana out, get Moin in. They need to fiddle out how they are figuring this out and how are they going to figure to get Shardul in. They need to see what they do that. This whole experiment of
Mayappan in.
No, Mukesh and Tushar and all, they need to find a way to get Shardul in. Because the way CSK is, again, CSK is very much, is like a much better version of a RCB, wherein the bowling is not there. But if you pull the right wires, at least something respectable they will be able to do. RCB cannot even do that, but Mumbai can do it. So CSK's whole thing is, we have to bat till 8, try to score and chase whatever is possible. And when people come to Chennai, pray that it, people itself self-destruct in the sweltering heat of Chepauk. That is the only way, because finals also is this year at Chepauk. That is the only way CSK can even make a thing. So my whole thing is somehow they will come to 4th if they get some few things right in their level. MI will come off because they have bought the league. It's very clear. There's no question, guys, here. Like whole Cameron trade and Hardik Pandya Day itself, I told MI is one that has done it. They have paid everyone off. They are good. Only now thing is RR, because of the whole Tony resurgence, hopefully will not put severe kakus and they will also bubble up to 3. And you have to see one of these.
And the script of Ashwin winning in Chennai at Chepauk finals. I would love to see that. That would be fun.
See that?
I just want to say before we sign off, our YouTube viewers would have noticed, but not necessarily our audio podcast friends, which is that PGK has had hopefully coffee or something else from 2 different cups during this episode recording. Right? And that is 2 more cups than RCB has had. So Virat Kohli, I'm not kidding. Come, meet me. Like, let's do this.
If you are Virat Kohli, please reach out to Tony Sebastian on Bits and Pieces, on Leftover Lasagna, on bunch of newsletters.
More than Virat Kohli. More than Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya needs you. He's going to come tonight to your house. He's going to ring the bell and say, you are Tony Sebastian.
Can I just say that I used to work in Nariman Point at one point in time. Okay. So here's a fun fact about Nariman Point, which is anecdotal, but also probably seems like it is accurate if you've ever been there. There is an Indian Express Towers building, okay, which is called Express Tower, which is like basically looking out at the sea, Marine Drive, beautiful, etc., etc. And it's a building that is very tall, like I think more than 20 stories, like another skyscraper. But if you see right now, in front of it, there is another building called Air India, which basically blocks out its entire view to the sea or anyone coming in. And the actual story behind this is that basically Indian Express used to, back in the times of Indira Gandhi, the only tyrant that Indian democracy has ever seen. We're speaking 2024. We've not seen another tyrant since then. And Indian Express was writing basically truths about Mrs. Gandhi, right? And she got so spiteful that she literally built an entire Air India, which was at that time owned by the Indian government, building right in front of Express Towers. But anyway, so I used to work in Express Towers, which is right opposite Trident, which is where all the Mumbai Indians team stays. And I think this was 2013 or 2012. And I was on my way to get my car, and I basically saw outside Nariman Point, Hardik Pandya walking with a Subway sandwich. Okay. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. I'm like, do I say hi? Do I not? But I'm like, he's too useless for me to say hi to. But I didn't say hi to him at that point. So, Hardik, I'm sorry. It's time for me to meet you and give you some blessings.
Hey, you Hardik Pandya in 2012-13. He made his debut for Mumbai Indians in 2015.
Okay, so 2015, dude. One of those you expect me to be accurate about the entire timeline. Come on.
Facts.
Don't fact
I
check
don't even
stories.
know which IPL team is playing today.
Don't fact check stories, Vamu. It passes the
Yeah.
eye test or the ear
Yes.
test, as we say.
Or it was some random guy. It wasn't Hardik Pandya.
Eating a
Entirely
Subway.
possible.
It is Mumbai. Everyone is wearing a
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians t-shirt and walking around. It
Correct.
could be
This was
anybody.
100% Hardik Pandya before he became famous, dude. Before he made his international debut.
Now
Anyway.
we don't even know if Tony actually met Sanju or was some random Malayali. Are you
Just
such
my Photoshop
sure?
skills have improved. Yeah.
I am Sanju, sure. Why not? Let's sit.
Deep fake Mallu guy.
That's
has
why he
been
didn't
met.
know the World Cup was in South Africa. Nothing he knew. He was like, sure, let's meet.
Woo!
All
My
right, guys.
God.
It's been a lot of fun.
Okay. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Bits and Pieces podcast signing off. Max, PGK, Vamu, Tony on this nice, warm Sunday afternoon for the three of
Guys, I
them.
think we have to stick around till Prithvi Shaw hits his 50. He's on 47. But we are going to assume that it has happened. Vamu, please don't say anything. This is Prithvi Shaw has made a comeback now. That's how.
At
That's
the
how
Wankhede.
much- At the
Prithvi Shaw is belting sixes at the Wankhede. And we will leave you. Hopefully, by the time you listen to this, Prithvi Shaw might have made a 50, may not have made a 50. It might have yet been another Prithvi Shaw disappointment. But one thing is not going to be a disappointment, and that is Hardik will continue to suck, hopefully, in this IPL. And then that will energize him to give us a win in the T20 World Cup in Antigua and Barbados. So, on that note, signing off. Please keep listening. Leave us a comment. Hit us up on X. And do let us know your thoughts. Thank you.
Give us 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like Pocket Cast, if you're if you take 15 minutes to make your coffee like PGK does. So
Pocket Cast is a real thing?
Yeah. It's actually quite
Yeah.
nice.
PGK use Pocket Cast, dude.
I
And
use
what
Pocket
coffee
Cast.
machine do you use, PGK?
Yeah, I will leave that. Okay. Okay, Prithvi Shaw 50. Awesome.
Oh,
Cool.
amazing.
Okay.
All right, people, take
Let's
care.
go.
Our recording will get done in maybe some few minutes. I'll share it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
First.
Bye.